Hello everyone, welcome to Joking Dolphin Gaming Podcast. I'm Mark and as always I'm joined by Matthew.
Hello.
And Nathan.
Hey up.
How we doing?
Not
Good.
too bad.
How are you?
I'm not too bad. I enjoyed yesterday. That was good fun.
Yeah, definitely. Watching Mini Robot Wars. It were a lot better than I thought it were going to be, to be fair.
Yeah. Proper battering each other, weren't they?
Yeah, I thought we were going to be there for about an hour, but we probably ended up being there for watching it for probably about 3, I'd say.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were really good.
Some of them proper got wrecked. Not sure watch them again.
But if they can do that with like 150 grams, imagine the 1.5 kilo ones that we can watch.
Yeah. Should we move on to the news then?
Yep.
Right, should we start off with bad news? The inevitable news.
All right.
Yeah. I think we've got to talk about it because it's too big to ignore. I feel because I am tired of talking about this as well, but I don't think we can ignore this. So Microsoft has announced that they're laying off about 1,900 staff from its gaming division. That's a lot of people.
It is.
And the news was broke by Phil Spencer in an internal memo, which he said this. It's been a little over 3 months since the Activision Blizzard and King teams joined Microsoft. As we move forward in 2024, the leadership of Microsoft Gaming and Activision Blizzard is committed to aligning on a strategy and an execution plan with a sustainable cost structure that will support the whole of our growing business. That's business talk right there, isn't it? Together, we've set priorities, identified areas of overlap, and ensured that we're all aligned with the best opportunities for growth. As part of this process, we have made the painful decision to reduce the size of our gaming workforce by approximately 1,900 roles out of the 22,000 people on our team. The gaming leadership team and I are committed to navigating this process as thoughtfully as possible. The people who are directly impacted by these reductions have all played an important part in the success of Activision Blizzard, ZeniMax, and the Xbox team, and they should be proud of everything they've accomplished here. We are grateful for all of the creativity, passion, and dedication they have brought to our games, our players, and our colleagues. We will provide our full support to those who are impacted during the transition, including severance benefits informed by local employment laws. Those whose roles will be impacted will be notified, and we ask that you please treat your departed colleagues with the respect and compassion that is consistent with our values. Looking ahead, we'll continue to invest in areas that will grow our business and support our strategy of bringing more games to more players around the world. Although this is a difficult moment for our team, I'm as confident as ever in your ability to create and nurture the games, stories, and worlds that bring players together. Phil. Very corporate statement, I have to say. But unsurprisingly.
Definitely.
It's getting a bit out of hand, all this, isn't it?
To be honest, I'm just surprised it's not happened sooner. When companies merge, this always happens.
Well, yeah.
Or get bought. We saw it with Twitter. We've seen it for countless other businesses in past. It's just, unfortunately, casualty of what's happened.
Not very good for the business, though, is it? Of video game creation. Because, there's always these arguments about monopolising the industry. And that's kind of what's happened here. And then they've laid off a bunch of people from the people they've just acquired.
Yeah.
Because it's a thought that a lot of these layoffs are for Blizzard, following the apparent cancellation of a survival game they were working on.
Wow. I mean, obviously it's not solely based on that, but if that was a majority of it, that's a lot of people to work on one game.
Well, I don't think there was a majority of it.
It doesn't help.
Number. But then it's also reported that between 30 and 40% of staff from Toys for Bob and Sledgehammer Games have also been let go. Now, I think Sledgehammer's had a bit of a rough time of it in their recent Call of Duties creation, I think. Maybe not quite be received as well as the other ones, but it's still quite surprising to see some of the Call of Duty machine being let go, since that's obviously the moneymaker.
Well, if there's one place to sort of shave staff from, I suppose a big chunk of it's going to be from the machine of Call of Duty, isn't it?
Could have put them onto something else though, couldn't they? So with Toys for Bob, weren't they? It's like they started chucking them onto Call of Duty stuff, didn't they? For reasons.
Yeah,
but that's
I think it's
all.
Probably all about making room to amalgamate the teams together a bit more.
Yeah, probably. But that's not all they've apparently they're laying off a portion of the division dedicated to bringing Xbox games to physical retail.
Oh no!
So they're doubling down on the digital age. It would appear.
That's it. Time to embrace the digital.
Then we will have to embrace it.
You do. You've got Xboxes. Do it.
The day that I can't buy a disc is the day that I stop gaming. Well, or cartridge.
Yeah, go back to cartridges.
Yeah.
Well, they use cartridges for Switch, don't they? So that's what I'm referring to.
Just in my head, I was thinking Mega Drive and 64.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Sell all my current gen consoles. That's a shame. But I mean, again, it's not totally surprising. Obviously, they've got Game Pass, and that's the future for them. So.
Well, yeah, we all know it's Game Pass, isn't it? So.
Yeah. Funnily enough, I considered getting Game Pass earlier on today because I wanted to play Palworld. So rather than paying 20 odd quid for that, I thought, do I just do it? But I've managed to talk myself out of it so far, but we'll see.
So just take a brief look at how many layoffs have happened so far this year then?
Go on then.
Well, considering it's only January the...
It's January the 28th as of time of recording.
Yeah. So last time I checked, the number of layoffs so far this year was 5,600. That's a lot of beans.
It is.
For the 28th of January. That's insane.
We have not finished 1 month of this year. There's a website that's been made for specifically tracking video game layoffs. They got made last year, and they had it at an estimate of around 10,500.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that means we're like halfway there.
It's even worse than we thought then.
Well, yeah. We're already, like I said, not even like a month into this year. We're already over halfway into last year's total layoffs. Yeah, it's not good, is it?
But I'm sure more will come as well. But wherefore?
Yeah. I think going towards end of financial year, it's going to get worse.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It does really make me think about that time. I think, what was it? I think it was Nintendo was going through a bit of a rough patch. And when Iwata was still alive, like rather than cutting people and like reducing teams, he just took like a massive pay cut. It was like absolutely refused to let anyone go. It was like, I'll suffer for this, and someone else is telling me that I'll suffer for this as well.
Yeah, always challenging at the right time. Austin knows what's going down. Shall we move on though? So you mentioned Palworld a bit earlier.
Yeah.
What's been going off with that? So?
What's not been going off with it? Where do I begin?
Well, don't you start with the good? Isn't it around 8 million downloads already, or has it already surpassed that?
Oh, it's surpassed that now. That 8 million downloads was as of about 3 or 4 days ago, so it's probably creeping towards 10 now. It's just the juggernaut that won't stop.
It has the second most concurrent users on Steam now.
Yeah.
Only behind PUBG.
I think I sent something earlier saying that it touched over 2 million concurrent players now, which is insane. That's like, if it is like a touch over, even if it gets to 10, that's 20% of the player base playing it right now. Obviously, it's going to drop off eventually, but...
Is it?
Well, I don't know. Depends if they introduce more guns.
I don't think guns is the problem. It's probably more inspired, designed creatures they need.
Well, speaking of inspired designs, apparently after days of speculation, the Pokemon Company and Nintendo has signalled they are investigating Palworld. I was going to say Popworld then. Popworld's like a club in a few cities in the UK that play cheesy music. Anyway.
Do you want me to read their statement?
Oh, go on then.
Pokemon, they said this. We have received many inquiries regarding another company's game released in January 2024. We have not granted any permission for the use of Pokemon intellectual property or assets in that game. We intend to investigate and take appropriate measures to address any acts that infringe on intellectual property rights related to the Pokemon. We will continue to cherish and nurture each and every Pokemon and its world, and work to bring the world together through Pokemon in the future. The Pokemon Company. I think it's basically just telling the fans to stop telling us about it.
Yeah.
Like we get.
And then like, all right, we get it. We're aware.
Yeah.
That's not going to stop Twitter discourse, is it?
No, that's true. It'll rumble on.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
but this there's no evidence about them using any AI or anything to kind of scrape the Pokemon designs. So there's one where the creators come out and tweeted out and basically, or X'd out, whatever you want to call it.
X'd out.
And I don't know what they are anymore. And basically told people to stop giving the developers and artists death threats because of the likeness to the creatures. Which, there are a couple, but obviously if they've sat down and taken some inspiration and put their own spin on it, put it into Palworld, then so be it. I mean, I know there are, obviously Pokemon's been going since 1996 and it does have a very loyal following throughout the years.
Loud, I'll say.
Loud and loyal, yeah.
That could be any fan base, to be honest. I think even Palworld's at the moment it's loud.
Yeah, definitely. Just again, in addition, some people have posed the question, is all this to do with like people buying Palworld and like taking it on like they have? Is it kind of a bit of backlash against the Pokemon company for, I don't want to say being lazy, but not innovating enough with the Pokemon games? Because Pokemon Scarlet and Violet was the first open world Pokemon game. I mean, apart from Arceus, you could argue, but
I don't think you
not
can
a mainline
game to a degree. I think Arceus was more kind of open
it's
area. You couldn't say it's open world because, well, you still had loading screens to go into like different sections of the world. Whereas I'm assuming with with Scarlet, which combined both words there, with Scarlet and Violet, you can, I'm assuming you can pretty much go around the world without having to load into anything.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Yeah.
So I think it's an interesting case because I think it's fair to say that when SMV launched, it was probably the buggiest of Pokemon games been at launch.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say really about like innovation stuff because like I've personally not got too far into my own sort of play of the game. I've only like won one badge and that's it. I still need to really get back to it. I think a lot of the argument is that obviously graphically I think it has been kind of held back by the Switch hardware. And Palworld is like answered that question of like what would Pokemon look like on Unreal Engine?
Yeah. And
I think everyone's kind of really clamored for it and like so far really enjoying it from what I can hear. But
I think a lot of it with Palworld is the freedom that you get. And I think if there wasn't a similarity in the creatures, we wouldn't even be having this conversation in terms of comparing
I think that's
to Pokemon.
it, yeah. I think
because it's a different game.
Well, that's it, isn't it? It's more like your typical kind of survival game. You know, you got to craft stuff. All right, you can capture these monsters a bit like Pokemon, but you can use them in all sorts of different tasks.
Well, when we say tasks,
slavery,
you can work them in the factories.
Stop. Don't want to go that far.
You can even enslave human characters as well.
Well, yeah, I've seen that. That's interesting.
And that's one of the reasons why I want to buy it, just to see if I can, for research purposes.
I feel like you're someone who would have welcomed being born in like the 1800s or something. With that kind of comment. I can enslave humans. Okay, going a bit too far.
Well, we're all slaves, really, aren't we? If we really think about the human condition. But anyway,
this is why I try not to think too much. Otherwise,
this is getting very existential.
Yeah. Basically, the point we're trying to make is this game would be fine had the monster designs not be a little too close to another company's designs, shall we say? Because I've seen obviously there's been so much on Reddit and Twitter, and like someone's really broken it down on getting like the models of like the Pokemon and the Palmon, I suppose, and
the Pals. That's what they're called.
And like mashed up certain ones next to each other, and there's like I don't know what it is. There is certain aspects where the designs are way too close to be like the best that I can assume that in a legal aspect for sort of Pocket Pair to kind of sort of get away with this is that they've taken like certain designs of Pokemon and kind of drew over them and like added or removed bits and gone, hey, here's an original design, and like use different colors or whatnot. But there is certain aspects that are definitely way too close. And I'm wondering with how Japan's copyright laws, I've heard, are a little bit more stricter than the rest of the world's. I wonder how much of a case the Pokemon Company really has against Palworld. Because if they feel like they've got something, then they will go for it and take them to court.
I mean, that, excuse me. I mean, that might be one of the reasons for the platforms that it has come out on, mainly Xbox and Steam, so that it's not as much of a hit, because Xbox has not really been adopted that well in Japan, and apparently it might be coming to PlayStation at some point, but I doubt it'll come to, well, there's going to be a problem if it comes to the Switch.
I'm going to say, I'm sure Nintendo would be looking at this and being like, do we really want well, I don't know if they would view them as a competitor, but would they want something like that on their platform, taking the shine away? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And if the Pokemon company is looking at it, do they want to sully that relationship?
Well,
doubt it.
There's that as well. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see, because, I mean, this isn't the only game that Pocket Pairs had a bit of controversy over. Like, their newest game that I think is in development seems to be fairly inspired, gameplay-wise and artistically, by Hollow Knight. Like, art style is almost kind of one-to-one. So, do you know what I mean? It's a bit... They like to flirt with other game styles for their games, shall we say, and put their own twist on it. Like, we've got Craftopia.
Yeah, but that's how innovation happens, though, isn't it? You modify things that are already in existence. That's just evolution, isn't it? Oh, look at me, using Pokemon terms.
I don't know. Like, the thing that comes to my mind with this kind of stuff was, I remember there was a big uproar when Fortnite introduced their Battle Royale. And a lot of people at the time were like, oh, you can't do a Battle Royale. That's what PUBG have done. Like, you're copying. And it's like, there's an argument, but there's not a copyright on a game style. Like, Fortnite did have their own spin on it. You know, you could build buildings in it, which is what you can do in PUBG. And obviously, art style as well, completely different. One was first person, the other one was third person at a time. But just, I don't know, this Palworld just is flirting on that line of being inspired and stealing ideas.
I'm just going to say, I find it hilarious.
I know you do, because you don't have like a...
I don't have a horse in this race, but...
Yeah.
It's nice from an outsider looking in to see. Yeah. The community scrap it out.
As you mentioned earlier, you said that Pokemon needed a bit of a kicking. So, you know, is this a necessary evil?
Thing is, from what I heard though as well, internally, they took on that feedback from Scarlet and Violet before Palworld was even a thing, and kind of knew, okay, we need to change stuff. Apparently, production-wise, they might have actually made a change.
Well, we'll see in Gen 10 then.
Suppose we will. We'll have to see what they're going to do for the 10th generation.
Pikachu with a rocket launcher.
No, they don't need guns.
Yes.
We already
it's not a gun, it's an RPG.
Look,
no.
We already have a monster collection series where monsters use weapons. If you really want to go with that, then start supporting Digimon. Because if you're not, I'm going to go furious with you.
No, I'm supporting Palworld.
Well, okay, that's another argument there, though.
No, you're not. You're supporting Microsoft.
You got Pokemon and Digimon. There's another argument that they're similar. But let's not get into that anyway. We'll be all night.
Don't start with that.
Should we move on to something else?
Yes, let's move on to something else. Nintendo related, shall we? With some more bad news.
Oh, go on then.
So, well, I mean, we knew the shops for the 3DS and the Wii U were dying off, or if not already.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the online play is going to be the next big target to come down for 3DS and Wii U, unfortunately. So, Nintendo come out officially announced on Twitter/X that the last time online play is coming to these platforms is going to be 8th of April.
Wow.
8th of April if you're not in the UK, I should say. If you are, then it's actually at midnight for 9th of April.
Oh, get an extra day. The goat
Very
was
sad
astounded.
So, yeah.
Do you think anyone will like put the 3DS on and see if they can ebb out a little bit more time, or do you reckon it'll just crash?
Well, I did with like
the Wii
Halo
U.
2 servers.
Yeah.
There's like a small group who's like refusing to get off. Like, no, we're gonna keep this online. Can't stop us.
Do you know, if that server on for an extra day, I'd just be kicking them.
That's a bit harsh. Can't force them out.
You can. It's your servers. You can do what you want.
Ooh. Yep, so
That's a shame. But all good things must come to an end.
Shall we talk about Like a Dragon / Yakuza?
Yeah.
the lad
Well-
games.
Don't start.
It's making it a thing.
We're not having that. But we're fans
The
of these
lad
games.
series.
I think we can say we all
Yeah.
like them.
Oh, huge fan.
So Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth has just released, I believe. Was it a couple of days ago? I think at the time of recording.
Yep.
But they've made a quite a ridiculous decision. That they've ended up locking the New Game Plus behind a paywall.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Why?
So in order to access it, you need to purchase either the deluxe or ultimate editions. So that's at least another $15 to access New Game Plus. I hope this isn't going to be the start of something in the industry.
I was thinking that because I've never heard of any New Game Plus being a premium option. It just happens.
Yeah, it says on the deluxe
Interesting.
edition here.
I feel like someone's done it before. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. So it's part of something called the Master Vacation Bundle, which comes with a deluxe and ultimate edition. And it says explore a bonus dungeon. I don't know what that's in relation to. If you play the game, I imagine you do. Get special Sujimon.
Sujimon.
Okay. Resort guests, outfits, New Game Plus, and more. And that costs an extra $15. Curious. I mean, a lot of people were wondering whether it was just like, mistype. But no, apparently that is it. It's there. It's part of that. Very bizarre. But saying that, it's like, isn't this game like supposed to be huge anyway? I'm surprised anybody would want to play New Game Plus.
Yeah, I bet it's like the biggest Yakuza game ever.
Wow. So you're looking at least, between 60 and 80 hours then. So you get your money's worth out of it.
Yeah.
Well,
just not an extra $15.
Yeah.
But I've got to play the countless ones before I get anywhere near that one anyway.
I'm just going to skip to it personally. As soon as the physical release is available, of course.
Well, I would imagine it's already out physically. I'd be surprised if it wasn't.
Let me see.
I know the previous game is digital only. No, you need to go in order. Like, I've done it the hard way. I'm currently on Like a Dragon.
Well, that's your problem.
It's not my problem. That's my pleasure.
Oh, it's out
Thank you very
physically.
much.
Oh, wonderful. Right, I'm going to buy it then. That's that decided.
Not even going to wait. It's not even played edition yet.
I actually feel bad for buying that. I spent like 30 odd quid on it and it's not even out of wrapper yet, and now it's about 12 quid. Not a very good investment.
Now you're about to buy the game past it, and you're going to be playing this like immediately.
Yeah, but there's one key aspect. Ichiban wasn't in Ishin, so not as far as I know anyway. He's not even the MC, so that's why I want this one.
Oh, well, you've got to learn the history of
I know Ichiban's history, and that's all that matters.
Kiryu.
Sod him, the second best protagonist in the Yakuza franchise.
No,
just let him have it. Just let
You've
him.
been
believe
playing
not.
Like a Dragon,
Refuse.
Matt, so you know. Stop lying to yourself.
It's his story.
Exactly.
It's actually both their story in this new game, so you will
No,
need to eventually learn about
I meant
Kiryu.
it's Nathan's story.
It's my
Let him
story.
No, it's
believe
not.
it.
No, I will not allow him to finish the story.
He's going to somehow brick my PS5.
I'm going to come in and just throw a brick at it, Leland.
Unless you played Yakuza 0, you played nothing.
Yeah, I'm gonna gatekeep you on this. No, you need to play the rest of them.
It's just finding the time. I don't know how people find the time.
Yeah, it's mad. Like 60 hours per game. I think I put about 65 into.
Just a couple hours a day. That's how it does for me.
And they just keep coming out, these games.
Yeah, we've had one a year.
And then they keep on just being the same damn city.
It works. They all receive very well, so they know what they're doing.
True.
I've said it before and I say it again. Retirement's going to be amazing. Go through all these stuff.
Do you know what the sad thing is, though? Bit rot. That's the sad thing. Because we'll pop them in when we're 85 years old, because that's when we'll be able to retire by the time we can, and we won't even be able to play them.
Yeah.
Right, well, I want to move on to a bit of PlayStation trivia, I suppose.
Go on then.
Ooh, love a bit of trivia.
Right, well, Sony has published their own separate top 20 download charts for the PS4 and PS5 in the USA/Canada and Europe. I mean, they also did a top 10 for VR games, VR2 games, and free-to-play games as well. But I don't think we need to go too far in there, potentially.
Austin thinks otherwise.
He's like, not far enough. Oh, she's not far enough. No, she's like, that's not far enough. Yeah.
I think I might have read the VR one.
Have you? Okay.
I know Job Simulator's in there.
Yeah, because I bought it. I'm adding to the
I think
list.
I think it's around 7, something like that.
Okay.
Solid.
Right. Let's go through all. So, I don't think I'm going to do the US and Canada ones. I think I'll stick to Europe.
Yeah.
Because that's all we care about. So, for the top 20, I will try and blitz through them. Maybe I'll get you guys to... I don't know. I was going to say get you guys to sort of guess the top 3, but we've technically done that in our Christmas quiz.
Yes.
So I'd be kind of giving it away. So I'll just go for it anyway. So from 20 upwards, we got Need for Speed Unbound. I'm sure a bit surprised by that. Tom Clancy's
I got it. I presume this is from the previous last year. I don't think you.
Yes.
Did you mention when it was?
Yeah, 2023 last year. Did I not?
I don't think so. Because I was a bit puzzled about when it was.
Oh,
yes.
Right. So it's the most downloaded games of last year.
Okay.
In Europe. As I've already mentioned, Need for Speed Unbound was at 20. We've got Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege at 19.
Really?
At 18, we've got Dead Island 2.
Solid.
Then we've got NBA 2K23.
In Europe?
Followed by NBA 2K24.
What?
So they were pretty close next to each other. Then you've got Final Fantasy 16. After that, we have Resident Evil 4, F1 23. Then we have Cyberpunk 2077. And narrowly missing the top 10 is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. So from 10 onwards, we have Assassin's Creed Mirage, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Diablo 4. We've got Baldur's Gate 3. Missing the top 5, we've got FIFA 23. It's actually, I feel like looking at this now, it might be a bit shocking seeing that it's sort of number 1, but I suppose it makes sense for Europe. So in 5th place, we have got Marvel Spider-Man 2. In 4th place, still kicking after 13 years, is Grand Theft Auto 5. 13? Yeah. It's been that long, isn't it?
He just won't die.
Then the top 3, we've got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Second is Hogwarts Legacy.
Yes. Should have won.
And no prizes for guessing who was number 1.
It's EA FC.
Don't say it, no.
It's EA Sports FC 24. Our Europeans love our football. So
I'm just happy Baldur's Gate 3 didn't win something. Again. Just a bit of variety.
It's interesting when you compare it to like the US list and like obviously what they care about. Like you've got NFL being in the top 4, NBA 2K24 is 5th.
Did COD win for them?
No, Hogwarts Legacy won for them.
Oh really?
So,
they got some sense at least.
Like even WWE 2K23 snuck into the top 20.
Really?
Yeah, came in at 15. Grand Theft Auto 5 came in 20 for them. So they finally started to win off it now, and us Europeans still love our GTA 5. But that was
wait for these 20. I can't wait for these 2025 lists. So we don't know what's going to be top at end of that one, don't we?
GTA 5 still going.
Well,
GTA 5
number 2.
still pips GTA 6.
Still going. No, it's still number 1. Like we've not moved on yet. We're still holding on to. So that was PS5 games. PS4 obviously got a bit different. I'll just go through the top 5 for us on there. So you got FIFA 23, GTA 5 again, Red Dead Redemption 2. Doing all right. Minecraft.
PS5 versions. So.
Minecraft's still popular for us Europeans. Number 1, EA Sports FC 24. So that. Then you've got the PSVR 2 games. So I'll just do the top 5 for those. In Europe, we have got Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners, Chapter 2, Retribution. We've got the Dark Pictures Switchback VR. Beat Saber is at number 3. Heard good things. Number 2, Kayak VR Mirage. Okay.
I've got that.
Number 1, any guesses?
Synapse.
No. Not the top 10.
Oh, Call the Mountain.
Oh, yeah.
No. That came in number 8, actually. Now, this game I've heard about, but I didn't know it was on VR 2, so.
Go on, put
I can put it as just, okay. So it's called Pavlov.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of it.
It's,
don't know much about it.
If I recall, it's a bit like Counter-Strike, but in VR. If that's what I'm thinking of.
I want them to remake Headmaster for PSVR 2. Headmaster was great, and you two would love it. It's basically a football heading game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it's set in like so you're like, shall we say, sort of held prisoner in this sort of dystopian football training academy. And you're kept in like a little room on your own, and you're forced to go out and just do heading competitions. On this field.
For a second, I thought you were going to say you're forced to go out and give head, being the headmaster.
I've not had that.
I'm 12, all right.
But no, you guys would really like that, and I really wanted to come to PS4 too. I used to love that.
Yeah. Oh, cool. I'll have to keep an eye on it if they would make it. Right, we've got our PSVR games now. So again, I'll just read off the top 5. We have The Walking Dead Onslaught, Batman Arkham VR, Super Hot VR.
That's good.
Beat Saber again. That's coming at number 2. Number 1, Mark's favourite VR game, Job Simulator.
Number 1,
Yep.
really?
Number 1
nice.
Oh, amazing.
It was number 2 for the US.
Happy as Larry.
Nice.
However happy he is.
And then quickly to do the free-to-play, which has combined both PS5 and PS4.
Oh, I'm just thinking of free-to-play games. Warframe, is that in there?
It's not, no. Not in the top 10.
Fortnite.
I mean, it's the obvious number 1.
PUBG.
PUBG, no, not for PS5 or PS4.
Apex Legends.
That came at number 8. Warzone, yep, number 3.
Fall Guys, dead game.
The Dead Game came in at number 5.
Right.
So
Not so
quite
dead.
Is Rocket League free to play?
Rocket League is free to play and also at number 4.
It's because I remember getting it from PS Plus.
It did, yeah, it did.
I
Switch.
was like, did it pay for that beforehand?
What games you missed? We have got number 10, 9, 7, 6, and number 2 left.
What's got a battle royale? There's gonna be another battle royale, probably.
I can confirm there is no other battle royals on this list. There is a shooter game, there is a racing game, there is a simulation game, there's a sports game, and I don't know what to call this other game. That's at number 2.
I can't think of anything
Something
else.
like Fortnite, I suppose, but not Battle Royale. Think a lot of mini games. Or I can just read off the
Just
list
go
if you're struggling now.
Just tell us. We can't think
All
of it.
right. Number 10, Overwatch 2, which might be a surprise. Number 9 is Trackmania. Number 7, we have The Sims 4.
Oh yeah, I forgot that were free to play.
Number 6.
Well, free to turn on.
So yeah. Number 6, and where us Europeans still love our football, is eFootball
eFootball.
2024.
I thought that might turn up in there.
And then the one you guys couldn't get, number 2, Roblox.
Oh yeah.
So those are the most played games. Actually, I'm quite surprised not to see Genshin Impact on that list.
Dead game, mate.
Yeah, it must be. Right. Well, those are the most played games on our PlayStations last year.
Shall we have a quick public service announcement?
Oh, go on. I love a PSA.
Okay, so a few years ago, PlayStation released a Last of Us documentary about the making of the game called Grounded. And they've announced the follow-up, Grounded 2. Must have been up all night thinking that name. The making of Last of Us Part 2. And that will release on February the 2nd. So you'll be able to watch that on YouTube then. And if it's anything like the first one was like, it should be really good. Although this one should be particularly interesting because obviously they went through the challenges of developing through COVID. Then the leak. So I think it'll be particularly interesting. So
maybe the thoughts on like how they would go through the story as well, like how they structured it. I'd like to know.
Yeah. Well, no, not long, so you can watch that.
Oh, good. All right. Well, I've just got a couple of quick things I want to list off. The first thing is we may have our full title for Mr. Kojima's Death Stranding 2 game.
Yeah.
So, according to a highly reliable data miner, the game will be known as Death Stranding 2.
Wait for it.
But there is a prefix. Sorry.
Okay.
Not a prefix. So it's Death Stranding 2 on the beach.
All the people from the 90s might get that, but no, it's. I have to say that's not an exciting title. I have to say.
Yeah, but it's Kajima, isn't it? Like that's pretty on brand.
Just seems
just something out of left field. Well, according to the data miner as well, we might not have to wait long until an official confirmation comes out. So I suppose we'll wait and see on that.
Do you know what? When it does come out, I just want to see like a picture or video of Kajima on the beach just with some sunglasses on and announces it. Something like that.
It's going to be Norman Reedus on beach.
Oh, that's it, with Kojima's sunglasses on, because he came out with his own sunglasses line, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about it. Right, last piece of news, which is a little bit more close to my heart. 2K have come out and announced the next iteration of WWE 2K. So, aptly titled to WWE 2K24 or 24.
I'm shocked.
Yep. So this should be coming out on March 8th, coming to PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, for reasons, and PC. We also got our cover stars as well for each edition they're doing. So on the standard cover, we've got Mr. American Nightmare himself, Cody Rhodes. On the deluxe edition, for the first time in WWE's history, we're going to have 2 female wrestlers on the cover. So we're going to have Bianca Belair and our current WWE World Women's Heavyweight Champion, Rhea Ripley, which congratulations to them. And then we've got a special 40 Years of WrestleMania edition, which basically has like almost all the kind of memorable wrestlers on there. We've got Roman Reigns, we've got John Cena, Hulk Hogan, The Rock's on there probably.
Hang on, so is this looking like the cover of that EA Sports FC cover they did? Well, they just threw random
Kind of,
people
yeah.
on
They just
cover.
threw everyone kind of on the front, yeah. So it looks as though the main showcase mode, which was like their single player campaign mode, is going to be based off basically the last 4 years of WrestleMania. So going through the big matches through there. I'm sure there'll be some exemptions to certain wrestlers that aren't with WWE anymore. That are probably quite important to the history. Which should be interesting. And then I think they announced 4 new match types that are coming as well. So we're going to have special guest referee coming back, which was always hilarious when you're playing as the referee.
I didn't know that'd go.
Yeah, it disappeared. So that's coming back. We've got the ambulance match. We've got the gauntlet, which I also realised disappeared. And
I like challenging myself in goals.
yeah. I don't know if this is the first time this has been in a WWE wrestling game. We're gonna have a casket match.
I feel like back in the PS2 days that existed.
Did it? Maybe.
I feel like that's happened. I'm sure we've had that somewhere before.
Could be. I honestly don't recall it, but maybe it has been.
Like on Here Comes the Pain or something like that.
Maybe. So yeah, so there's that, and then anyone that pre-orders will get the Nightmare Family Pack, which includes 2 alternate versions of Cody Rhodes in his undashing era and his Stardust era.
Oh, no.
Which he loves to be reminded about. We're also going to get Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, and Superstar Billy Graham.
Very good. Okay, we'll finish with this then. Do you remember in recent podcasts, I've mentioned Xbox having collaborations with certain things?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, they're at it again. This time, they are collaborating with the European Space Agency.
All right.
Yeah. So they asked fans to provide an illustration of a spacesuit design of their creation, and they have an opportunity to win that spacesuit in real life.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty cool.
That's amazing.
So this is the details from the website. It says, whether using a provided template as a base or pushing their imagination to the limit with any creative format of their choice, fans will be asked to provide both a visual illustration of the suit from all sides, hand-drawn, 3D rendered, or however their vision sees fit, as well as a description of the inspiration of the suit. More specifically, Xbox Bethesda and the ASA want to know what you would wear in outer space. How would your spacesuit reflect your personal style, individuality, and vision for space travel? After submitting suits through the campaign website, the most creative option, the one that truly gives weight to the phrase out of this world individual style, will win a full replica of their design, complete with an authentic ESA patch. The contest opens today and runs until 8 PM Pacific time on February 24th. After that, the winning suit will enter a 2-month intensive fabrication process on the path to becoming a reality. That's quite something, isn't it? Right. What's the Joking Dolphin suit having on it?
Well, it's got to be teal for starters.
It's going to be teal colour.
Yeah, it's going to be teal.
Rather than just a bog standard helmet, the helmet's got to have a fin on it somewhere. Well, on the top.
Yeah.
And it's got to be pointy like a dolphin nose.
Yes.
I'd do the helmet like that. I think I'd have the fin on the back of the suit.
That'd be good for aerodynamics if you're flying through space as well. Not that you ever would.
The arm's gonna go into like a flipper shape.
What else will we do with it?
It's gotta be made with carbon fiber.
For feet.
Yeah, flippers for feet. I mean, this would be no use on a spacewalk, guys, but
yeah, this didn't really say like out of this world.
Well,
out of this ocean, maybe.
I don't think they're going to take it to the moon, so I think we're all right.
No, but it's going to be tested so it can actually like withstand those pressures. So you could technically wear this as a real spacesuit.
Well, they do testing underwater, don't they?
Yeah.
For space.
Yeah, it'd be good for under pressure. Yeah.
So yeah,
that's it. You get like a jetpack on the back from the water.
Yeah, like a blowhole. You just have like that pushes the I don't know what you call it, the jet propulsion bit out.
It'd be like something you see in like early James Bond films.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
But it's got to have speakers as well, so that it can make dolphin noises.
In case you come against like alien life, and that's your communication method.
You need to communicate, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. No, we need like a pocket that can fit that goat thing for you.
Ah, yes.
So we can keep that in. That's how we communicate.
case we find any goats on Mars or anything like that.
And the aliens take the goat as an act of war and destroy Earth.
And that's called Destroy All Humans.
Yeah, I think between us we can make a pretty cool suit. Or an absolutely terrifying one. More
It
like
doesn't have
the
legs.
latter.
It's just one big flipper. Is your feet?
Or like a merman.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Or merman. Should I say.
Yeah.
So if you stood up, you'd just fall over.
Yeah,
You'd have to
just
go to
wiggle
a
your way.
water planet.
Like in Interstellar.
That's the thing.
Because
If
that
you're
planet
flapping,
was just all water.
that's the thing. Actually,
Yeah,
if
but
you're,
they're only about a couple of foot of it, so you won't get very far.
the thing is, if you're flapping space, you don't move, do you? Because there's no air resistance. So you just flip it, you just stay there, not moving at all.
Well, you'd be donutting, I imagine. Maybe.
Yeah, at least you look cool doing it. You know.
True, you would. Yeah.
It's all about style.
Well, that's what they've said. It is all about individual style. So yeah,
Yep.
I think we're on to a winner here, lads.
I just want to point out, this is a really good way of getting everybody's ideas for suits for Starfield and whatever other games they might want to do in future.
You know what? That could be an idea. They should do that. The winning suit should also get it as like a download in Starfield.
Oh yeah, I did forget to say that this was a collaboration with Starfield as well.
Yeah. Well, when you said
I'm sure you
Bethesda,
probably guessed that.
I put two and two together. Yeah.
I just forgot to mention that to begin with. But yes, it doesn't mention being in the game though.
Oh, they should do.
It seems like
Do
it
it.
should be, shouldn't it?
Do it.
Yeah.
Surely. It'll happen. I'm sure it'll happen.
Go on, Todd. You know you want to. Just take
For
a break
a
from Indiana.
small price.
Well, that's it. They
Oh,
could charge
charge
us
us for it,
don't
won't
do
they?
that.
$1.99.
Don't give them ideas.
Oh no, but they don't need my ideas to do it. They'll just do it.
Probably.
Do you know what would be cool if you could make your own suits and post it on a marketplace and then get the kickback from whoever buys it and have like an open market?
Turn Starfield into an MMO now.
Mm.
What they do on
We'd ask you to do that
like
on
World
ships
of
next.
Warcraft and stuff. Yeah.
Maybe you could be a mechanic or something, fixing other people's ships up and building them, and then you just work in the game and quit your job. Anyway, yeah.
Well, I think we'll leave it there, chaps. Thanks a lot. If you enjoyed listening to us, consider tuning in next time. We release weekly on Tuesdays. You can visit our website at jokingdolphin.com. Follow us on all social media platforms. You can find Joking Dolphin on YouTube and Facebook, as well as Instagram and Twitter at Joking Dolphin. Until next time, thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Ta-ra.
Goodbye.